Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. And joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are mixed this morning, with S&P futures up 0.08%, Dow futures flat, and NASDAQ futures up 0.14%. Treasury yields have risen higher, and futures see modest gains as investors weigh earnings reports amid optimism that the developed world is on a clear path towards economic recovery. Commodities have surged to the highest levels in nearly 3 years. And what else is higher is the dollar having increased for the first time in 3 days. GameStop has jumped 8% in early pre-market after completing an at-the-market equity offering. Amazon, which will report its profit this week, has also risen higher. Here's a real tangible confidence booster regarding the recovery of our economy. 4 out of 5 S&P 500 companies that have reported results so far have either met or beaten expectations. That, along with a rapid rollout of COVID vaccinations across America and other developed nations, really offers some positive sentiment toward recovery. After results from Tesla, now all eyes turn towards Microsoft and Alphabet, the big boys, both of which are due to report after trading closes. U.S. data this week are still expected to show growth accelerated to an annualized 6.8% in the first quarter. A conference board measure today may show U.S. consumer confidence surged for a fourth successive month to the highest level since March 2020. And the bonus is such optimism won't change the Federal Reserve's highly accommodative stance, with the central bank expected to keep policy unchanged at this week's meeting. Elsewhere in markets, copper is rising higher as growth-sensitive metal has extended a rally on the U.S. administration's plan for a large infrastructure package. Oil has climbed after OPEC projected a strong recovery beyond near-term demand destruction from India's COVID-19 surge. Over in Europe, the Stock 600 index slid 0.1% as investors weighed the scope for further gains. HSBC Holdings rose after saying quarterly earnings more than doubled and returned profit in Europe and the U.S. But what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Well, Shane, I've been watching the S&Ps all morning, and they were flat all morning long, and then they just started creeping higher. Now you're up 0.12%, so that's a positive because why? We've got a lot of good earnings coming out, so the S&Ps are drifting higher and in anticipation of a number of positive earnings reports. You got companies like Microsoft, Starbucks, UPS, Visa, Google, AMD all reporting today. It's a big day. You see that earnings season is off to a solid start as it's causing the major indexes to move higher. European markets, on the other hand, they're displaying some weakness, specifically in the financial services and retail sectors. And the focus really is on their markets is really on the tech sectors. So you gotta realize that this week is all about tech earnings. I'm watching oil. I see the demands are continuing to drop. Those concerns that with respect to demand levels in India and Japan continue to weigh on sentiment. You got that OPEC meeting this week, and they have to address this issue in their meeting. They have to address it, otherwise oil will pull back. But my main focus right now is on earnings.
Well, let's talk about earnings. A whole lot came out and a whole lot is about to come out. Why don't you tell us about it, Bill?
Well, Tesla came out last night. I mean, they delivered nice beat on earnings and revenue and guidance, but the stock sold off. What makes sense is their operating profits, their expenses are actually climbing higher. And when you see these higher expenses, it starts to, worry people. You have an increase in all the raw materials going on. This may cause a fracture in the stock price of Tesla. And that's why you're seeing shares of Tesla. It's actually trading off 2% today. And hopefully it's just 2% because it was down lower after the, late last night. I saw Aaron's, they released earnings. They beat by 68 cents on higher revenue. Crocs, the shoemaker, CROX, Charlie Richard, Oscar X-Ray. This one I was hot about because you know what? All the shoemakers have been doing really well, and Crocs did not disappoint. They beat by 50 cents on higher revenue. Hasbro, hey, you know what? Mattel had a good beat. Let's check out what Hasbro did. They beat by 35 cents, but it was on lower revenue. JetBlue, they delivered a 21-cent beat. Lilly, on the other hand, Eli Lilly, ticker LLY, they missed by 21 cents on lower revenue, 27 cents on lower revenue. Not good. You see the shares trading off. They've actually recovered a little bit. They were down into the $176 range. Now it's trading 181. So it was a little bit overdone when those earnings were first released. 3M, Minnesota Mining Manufacturing, they beat by 48 cents on higher revenue. Not a big surprise. Shutterstock, ticker SSTK, Sam, Tom Kilo. Worst kept secret. They're going to beat on earnings. They delivered a 29 cents beat on higher revenue. And, in terms of what I see upcoming, look at AMD. They're expecting to make 44 cents this quarter, 44 cents per share. They're priced for a 5.8% move. AMD is one to watch. Google is looking for earnings of $15.82 per share. It's priced for a 3.8% move. Amgen, ticker AMGN, they're looking for $4.05 per share, and they're priced for a 2.15% move. Microsoft, third quarter earnings expected to come in at $1.78 per share. Look for a 2.6% move when they do release. Mondelez, the snack manufacturer, they're looking for 69 cents per share. That's what the estimates are. They're looking for a 2.3% move. I see Pins, that's Pinterest. Their stock is priced for a 10% move. Starbucks is priced for a 3.29% move, and their estimates out there are for 53 cents per share. Texas Instruments, their EPS per share is estimated to be at $1.58. They're priced for a 4.6% move. Rounding out is Visa. You're looking at APS estimates of $1.27 per share, and they could be moving 2.3% after they release earnings today.
Well, moving into our economic reports, Bill, what are we seeing as far as reports today?
Redbook at 8:55 a.m. Eastern time. That's the Johnson's Redbook on retail sales. 9 o'clock, you get the Case-Shiller Home Price Index coming out. 10 o'clock, you have consumer confidence as well as the Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index due out.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Target, ticker TGT. Target announced that it will be collaborating with interior stylist Hilton Carter for a limited time only, with products from the plant enthusiast ranging from $5 to $130. News from ADT, ticker ADT. It's bringing a trademark suit against Amazon, ticker AMZN, for its ring logo, which ADT claims is virtually indistinguishable from their own patented logo. So ADT's share price is down 0.41% in pre-market, while Amazon's is up 0.7%. In other news, Ford, ticker F, confirmed that it will invest $300 million to build a new light commercial vehicle in 2023 at its assembly plant in Romania. And this will be including an all-electric version due to debut in 2024. Ford's share price is up 0.49% in pre-market. News on Merck, ticker MRK. Merck has made a pact with 5 Indian generic manufacturers for its investigational oral antiviral agent currently being studied in a phase 3 trial for the treatment of non-hospitalized COVID-19 patients. This is interesting, being that in India, it's definitely picking up a lot, the issue of COVID-19. Merck's share price is up 0.12% in pre-market. In other news, Petco, ticker WOOF, announced the launch of Petco Pay, a credit card program in partnership with Alliance Data, ticker ADS, and MasterCard, ticker MA. Lastly, from you, one on Amazon, ticker AMZN. It will be expanding its key and garage grocery delivery service to everywhere grocery delivery service from Amazon is available, which is more than 5,000 U.S. cities and towns. Well, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific sectors and specific industries. That way, when the news hits, I'm right on it. I can react quickly to any events that hit the tape. I start off with my FANG alert, and I'm watching the vols. They continue to be elevated in a lot of these tech stocks ahead of the earnings announcements. I caught that thing on the Amazon in-garage grocery delivery to Prime members at 5,000, more than 5,000 cities. I see that Apple, there are media reports out there that saying Apple is going to be charged with anti-competitive behavior by the EU. We're going to just have to see when that actually hits. My Dow Jones 30 alert went off on Cisco. The CEO came out and he said that chip shortages, the computer chip shortages that we've been talking about, that this is going to probably last for another 6 months before companies are able to actually satisfy all the demand that is out there. Here's one on McDonald's. And S&P ratings, Moody's ratings, and their credit, it's a longer term play, but it does have an effect. And S&P just revised McDonald's outlook to stable from negative. So that's a big shot in the arm. And that's very positive for McDonald's, ticker MCD, Michael Charlie David. In terms of, my option headlines, XME, X-ray Michael Edward. This is the S&P's metal and mining ETF. I notice a 30-day option implied volatility is at 67. Now you compare that to the range of 33 to 72, and it's high. That's because we're going into a stage of, where economic development is going to be increasing. So you're going to see a lot more demand for raw materials. This is why we were positive on a lot of these companies that were releasing, like Alcoa and Steel Dynamics, because they're pure raw material plays. I look at FCX, Frank Charlie X-ray. This is Freeport McMoran. Their 30-day option implied volatility is at 50. And the 52-week range is 45 to 73, so it's a little low. They released earnings last week. They were good. Stock sold off a little bit because they think it was a little ahead of itself. But FCX is one of these stocks that's going to be benefiting significantly as the economy gets back on track, and especially if that infrastructure bill goes through. In terms of guidance news, Corning, that's ticker GLW, Grace Larry William. Corning came out and they said that they see the second quarter 2021 EPS coming in between 49 to 53 cents. Now, the consensus right now is 48 cents. So they're expecting a big beat. Shutterstock, ticker SSTK, Sam Tom Kilo. They just raised their guidance for the entire year to $2.78 to $2.93. This is compared to the old guidance of 275 to 290. So it's a slight raise, but that's in shares of SSTK. And, Paul Kilo X-ray, ticker PKX. I noticed Citibank's just put them on a 30-day positive catalyst watch. So this is POSCO, ticker PKX, Paul Kilo X-ray. In terms of events today, United States Steel Corp, they're doing their annual shareholders meeting today. Citigroup, they're going to be doing their annual shareholders meeting today. Starts at 9 a.m. Haynes Brand, that's ticker HBI. They're going to be doing their annual shareholders meeting today, starting at 9 a.m. IBM, International Business Machines, their annual shareholders meeting starts at 10 a.m. this morning. And Wells Fargo, ticker WFC, their annual shareholders meeting starts at 10 a.m. as well.
Well, moving into our Trade Talk picks for today, I'm picking Chubb, ticker CB. It's expected to have benefited from its premiums, positive rate increases, exposure growth, strong renewal retention, and continued growth in its Chubb agricultural business unit. And this, by the way, is an earnings play. It's set for an EPS estimate of $2.49 after market closes today. And Chubb's has had a call put ratio of 1.35, which is positive, and it's been bouncing back from a $3 drop yesterday. So there's a lot of green lights on this one. I say go. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
Going with Starbucks, ticker SBUX, Samboy under X-ray. Earnings are out this afternoon. They're priced for a 3.29% move. I expect these guys to beat, because last quarter the guidance was actually lower, so that the bar is a little lower for Starbucks to come up with a positive earnings report. Here's the key. They opened up 278 new stores in Q1. This is really going to fuel its profits for this quarter. And, last quarter they did deliver a beat, but it was a little bit light on revenue. But I think that was this quarter's going to be eclipsing the revenue estimates and eclipsing the EPS. I'm looking forward to a nice beat on Starbucks, ticker SBUX. But I'll tell you, if I can pull out 1% or $1 this morning, I'm going to take it and walk away. But SUBX is my call for today.
Well, moving into what's hot off the press, talking about the news that's hitting the tape as we speak that will be moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and get into it. So looking at our Newswire alerts, seeing the headlines streaming in, Bill, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Well, let's take a look at DLA, David Larry Apple. This is Delta Apparel. They're announcing a strategic partnership with Autoscale. Or how about KSS? This is Kohl's, Kilo Sam. They just announced that they're an agreement or a partnership with Sephora, the makeup company, who's going to be opening up the store within a store. So it'll be selling Sephora makeup inside of Kohl's. This retail partnership is supposedly going to start in the fall.
Microvision, ticker MVIS, has declined 5% in pre-open.
That's a Bitcoin play. Medtronics, ticker MDT, Michael, David, Tom, they just got an FDA approval.
Comscore, ticker SCOR, has announced an expanded renewal agreement with Viacom, ticker VIAC.
Here's one on Boeing, but it's really Raytheon, but Raytheon does not expect a 777 charge. Merck just reported their first quarter earnings. They came in at $2.77. The consensus was $2.29. Did that on higher revenue.
One on Hyzon Motors, they're partnering with Raven SR to build waste to hydrogen hubs.
That's all I'm really seeing today.
Yeah, same here. So that's going to do it for what's hot off the press. But traders, keep in mind that you can receive the same breaking stories we do simply by subscribing at newswire.com. Check us out for a free trial today. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Monday. I had Apple, ticker AAPL. It opened at $134.83 and closed at $134.72 for a fraction of a loss. However, had traders sold it about an hour before the bell, there was about a fraction of a point to gain. And the peak was at $135. And if you had gotten an hour after the market opened, but there actually was quite a drop. It went down to 132. So there was a little chunk of change to have been made. There was some gains to be made on that play. So not too bad overall. How'd yours end up doing, Bill?
I rocked it. I did Boeing yesterday. Stock opened up at 240.24 cents, and then it ran as high as 244.64, easily beating my $1 target, my price estimates of doing a dollar beat or 1% beat. Sold off towards the end, but those gains are there. It opened up solid. It closed solidly above the opening print by well over $1. So that was a real positive. It's still up again today because why? Earnings are tomorrow. So my call on Boeing was a good hit and it made a lot of money yesterday.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk with Traders. You know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.